I never actually intended to be a stay-at-home mom. It kind of was just a cascade of events that wrecked my body and made me unable to go back to a physical office. And on top of it, like taking clients while at home and actively recovering from a dislocated hip and then emergency surgery is like, and with the newborn, it's all a lot. It's too much. I spent the last 15 months becoming a person again, and in doing so have accidentally become a stay-at-home mom. My pregnancy was a high-risk pregnancy, and I was in danger of organ rupture the entire time because of my Ehlers-Danlos, which is a genetic disorder. And then I spent 5 days in labor, with 24 hours of which was active labor. I was in a lot of pain. It was very rough. On top of it, my son was breech, and so they put me on a peanut ball, and I don't know if it was the peanut ball or me pushing, but my hip dislocated in labor. My son still came out sunny side up. He ended up having a hemorrhage on the top of his head. He's fine. It's great. To say it was a rough labor would be an understatement, but thankfully I had a great care team. I had great doctors, and my life wasn't in danger at any point. But then 4 months later, I started getting mastitis, and I spent about a month going through a bunch of different antibiotics and treatments trying to like get this down, because I was in a lot of pain. It was really swollen. Because they told me to check out for the redness, that's all I was looking for. I didn't know, I've never had mastitis. So the redness was going down, the swelling was not, it was staying. But I didn't know what was supposed to happen. I ended up getting an abscess that was going septic, and they ended up having to cut it open, debride, take out all that infection. They ended up removing 8 centimeters of my breast tissue. And then I spent 2 months having that hole in my chest packed and unpacked almost every day, which basically they'd shove an ace bandage into it with a really long Q-tip, 8 centimeters, depth, and they fill the space with the ace bandage and then pull it out the next day so that the tissue can slowly grow from the inside out. So that was like 2 months of horrible pain. So I went from a golf ball sized hole in my chest to a quarter sized scar on my boob. And then the whole time I was doing that, I was pumping every 3 hours. I was pumping until, I want to say November of last year. Yeah, November of last year. Now the whole time I was going through that, I was trying to take contracts and I was trying to start getting back into working again. And it was just impossible. On top of it, I had this kid who was like brand new and needed me every second of every day. And still does. That's you. My husband's in the union, so they don't have PTO. It all gets lumped in with their paycheck, so they don't have days off. So taking a day off is very difficult. He ended up taking like 3 weeks off when I was freshly postpartum because I couldn't walk. So he was helping me. Basically, actually, he was doing everything. So I never expected to be a stay-at-home mom. My body's been a battleground for the last 15 months. I've been able to finally work out the last 2 months, and I feel like a whole new person. And not because of dropping weight, but because of gaining muscle, right? My body was so stagnant for so long. I was so physically weak. And it was just it felt nearly impossible to get to even just where I am right now. And I feel great. But I've been really hesitant to talk about being a stay-at-home mom and, some of the trials and tribulations I've had with it. Because one, I don't want to be a trad wife or seen as one because I am not one. And then two, I never wanted to be this, right? But I love it, and I'm surprised that I love it. I love being here with my kid. I love being able to work on my passion projects and be more creative when I want to. And, doing more of the stuff at home has been a lot more fun for me. More fulfilling for me than the career I was in, which was incredibly stressful. And I was working 12, 14-hour days. And don't get me wrong, this is still a lot of work and I'm still stressed all the time. But it's a different kind of stress. It's a worthy kind of stress than just for my boss, right? Or my clients. I haven't really talked about it much because I've been frankly kind of embarrassed by it. And I want to talk about it more. So I'm going to talk about it more. And this is my long-winded way of saying I'm going to talk about it more. But I want to talk about it more, especially as a progressive person, and my husband is progressive as well. It's definitely my own form of internalized misogyny of why I did not want to talk about it. But I do want to talk about it, and I do want to talk about, there's lots of stay-at-home moms who are progressive who do oppose this administration. Being a stay-at-home mom does not inherently make you a conservative weirdo. So Anyway, this is my long-winded way of saying I'm a stay-at-home mom. I've been really enjoying it, and I'm going to talk about it more. I follow a lot of stay-at-home moms, so I see a lot of you guys' stuff. And I want you to know that you're doing great. And this is really hard. And I hope that you're having a good day.